I'm back from Mexico. Chris put me right to work on a fuel cell. So I'm getting burned. I got burned in Mexico and I'm getting burned today. So we're welding this bad boy from the underneath side of it. So it'll be nice clean lines all the way around it. And we'll just have to have the paint guys seal it. Make it nice and clean so everyone will wonder how it was welded in. Very excited about that. So Chris made some good headway while I was gone. He put a little cap on there for our winter's diff and he did a little bit of welding. He was staying busy while I was gone.
I was learning the hard way that you have to clean your metal really good before you weld it.
It's not like MIG, TIG is a lot different.
Yeah.
So anybody in the future that sees this build and you want to see Chris's good welds, ask if you can hop on in and look underneath.
Yeah. Hey, that one's pretty nice right there. I'll take what I can get. Listen, it didn't break and it's not going anywhere.
This is an F30 with a 2JZ in it, and we're gonna put a cage kit in it.
Back there, right there.
All right, so we're gonna go over what cage kits is and what they do for you when you order a cage from them. So these are all 3D scanned of the chassis, first and foremost. So they take a chassis, they'll mark it all out, and they'll scan the whole interior of the chassis. That way they get a feel on how big everything is. And then they'll go and design it, and they'll design a cage that fits as tight as it possibly can. Then they're gonna bend it for you, CNC bend it, notch it, laser etch it for you so you know where everything goes. It takes all of the guesswork out. You don't have to buy a bender, you don't have to buy a notcher, you don't have to mess up and spend way more money on tubing that you don't need when you can just buy one of these. And check it out. All of their plates come already pre-bent, notched, everything. They just click right into place. You weld them in, make sure you clean all your body mend off and whatnot first, but then you just weld them in and everything goes where it's supposed to. And if it doesn't line up with the notches, you don't have it in the right spotches. Know what I'm saying? Now they also give you, Chris informed me, there's 2 different bars here for your harness bar. Now this is set for different heights, so if you're a taller guy and you have or you're a shorter person, you have a higher seat, so on and so forth. Wherever your harness is going to go, you put your seat in, bolt it down, put your harnesses in, and see which harness bar you're going to use. They give you 2 different options on it, which is really nice because some people are taller or shorter, you know. So you get the options. They give you the choice.
They also give you the options for different styles of door bars whenever you're ordering your kit. So if you want like flat ones, if you plan on cutting your door panels, if you want to retain power windows, you have options for all that. Another thing for people like me who aren't really good at welding, you can actually get a practice kit from them that comes with a couple different notches and shapes, so you can actually practice your welding before you jump in and do your actual cage, which is pretty sweet.
Yeah, but do yourself a favor, hire a professional, because you're going to spend good money on this cage, and if your welder isn't good or you're not good at welding, you're not going to pass tech, and then you just spent all that money on an amazing cage that doesn't pass tech, and let's face it, might not look good. So they do have, I believe they have certified installers that they have on their website. I'll get in touch with them this week and just figure it out before the end of this video and let you know. But they believe they have certified installers that you can go to them and they are already been approved to install the cage, and Cage Kits agrees that they will do it properly and you will pass tech. So make sure to get someone to do it. If you're not a competent welder, don't do it as your first thing. Safety is your first concern, and a welded cage that's not welded properly is more of a danger to you than a safety feature.
A poorly welded cage turns into a dagger when you roll over.
Yep. Or when someone hits you and your door bar comes in and just impales you. So make sure you know what you're doing.
That broken is a weapon. I mean, it is a weapon now.
Yeah.
while Crickett's plugging away at this beautiful cage setup, we got our Bulldog in. So for the idea of weight savings and, you know, reliability, we got the whole billet set up with the fancy coating on it and everything to kind of keep our underbody looking nice and clean. So now will be our first test fit with the actual differential. There's one other guy who's using a RiseFab subframe, and we kind of based all of our clearancing off of his pictures. Now I'm going to actually test fit it to make sure that it actually fits where we need it to fit up in here. So that's why none of this up here is finish welded, and also because I'm not that good of a welder. This is going to be our moment of truth. So I got to take the 4 bolts out of the front of the diff itself, because these guys here will go in on the actual nose panel of the differential. I'm going to try and get that thing balanced up on a jack, pull them front bolts out, and try and get this thing in place. Wish me luck. When they say quick change differential, doesn't mean you can change the differential quickly. It means you can change the gear ratios quickly. Fun fact.
Let's see if Chris's eyeball clearance worked.
Yeah, we're looking kind of close, but we're gonna find out.
I see the bolt holes like lined up. One is. You want me to put a bolt?
Which one, the front or the side?
The side.
Yeah. There should be a washer there with it.
Washer with the bolt. The hump looks good.
Make sure drive shaft line and everything looks good. We can actually measure for our length on our drive shaft right now if we wanted to. Once our RiseFab stuff comes in for the rear, I'm going to drop this subframe anyways, and then we'll work on if we have to wallow out any of the holes or reposition anything. But yeah, our driveline angle actually looks really good because this diff is tucked up so high inside the chassis that we don't have to worry about, like, you know, a weird pitch from our rear yoke to the slip yoke on the dog box. So as of right now, we just have a jack stand sitting over there. Crickett's going to have to build us a cool trans cross member. The one that comes with our swap kit for the F chassis into the JZs into the F chassis are built for the N54 trans, and the mounting position is a lot further back because the dog box is much shorter. So what we're going to try and do is build something possibly off of the stock one because it's made out of aluminum. That'll save us some weight. And if that doesn't work, we'll just build one from scratch. It's in.
Yeah, it's pretty much in.
It gives me a better spot to jack it up on whenever I want to take this subframe out, because last time me and Donnie just kind of had to muscle this thing into place. But look at that, it even says DriftHQ on the back. Boom! We official.
So we've had to modify our plates, our brackets for the C-pillars, because we removed the part that they actually made to weld onto. Little weight reduction that was there is no longer there, so we're gonna take and we tacked it in to make sure it's where it's supposed to be, and then we'll build our own plates off of that and box it in and weld it in. So that way we use everything from cage kits and don't have to make our own new bars because we removed the part that normally you wouldn't remove, but we wanted to just for weight reduction reasons, and we wanted to be able to get to our sweet quick change. Yeah, that guy.
Willie.
Our boy Chris over in the DriftHQ sales section came over and was like, why don't I make a jig for you? Because we're making this an inch away from it so we can bead roll it. And Chris is over there making lines. So Chris, the smart guy, came over here and put a Sharpie in the thing and then another Sharpie and measured it an inch from there to there. And then you just run this flat on there, follow the contour. And it's always an inch away. Watch, we'll do a new one. No marks. Put it down on there. Boom. Air 5. Oh, he saw you. The people saw you. Thanks, Chris. like we just built a whole nother ship.
I mean, yeah, overboard is not the word for this. We churched it up.
Over the top.
Yeah. Anybody just make a little flat sheet, you know?
Yeah, so you guys saw, we kind of did a little B-roll of me building the metal part of what me and Chris made out of cardboard. So these are our caps for our fuel cell. There's a fuel cell that goes underneath there, and then there will be the battery that goes underneath here. So what we're doing is, a long time ago, I used to do ornamental aluminum, which really works for this because we're trying to make this as ornamental and decorative as possible, as well as serving a purpose. So I'm welding it as thick as I can, plenty of penetration, and making sure that I have a bead on the other side of it as well, because as you look on this one, we sand it down and make it nice and smooth so the lines are nice and clean. There's no welds on it, nothing. It's gonna look just like this one does, and we'll be able to paint them, match them, and you know, the one in the back.
We're still kind of on the fence whether we want to get this powder coated a separate color from the rest of the chassis or just have it painted with the car to kind of make it look like it's all integrated. So let us know what you guys think.
Yeah, that's a great question for you guys. Chassis color or powder coated something different, like maybe to match all the other sweet shiny black everywhere else. I think it would look good.
I don't like the idea of shiny black. Shiny black gets scratched up way too easily. Like the first time we blow this thing off or dust it, it's gonna be scratched up and it's gonna drive us crazy.
Yeah, very true.
Which is why, like, if we color match it to the interior, it'll all blend together really well. But all the bead rolling and everything we did will kind of, you know, bring everything back together, make it look churched up. OEM plus.
Yeah. I just don't know if I want the wrinkle black. We do wrinkle black in a lot because it hides everything, and it's a phenomenal color to use, or a phenomenal powder coat to use, because it literally hides everything. It's almost like rhino lining it, and you know, it doesn't show any scratches or anything. However, I feel like it hides a lot of the contours and everything. And we worked a lot of, you know, spent a lot of time on this. So I'd like to be able to show the contours and the shapes of everything, but you know, but let us know what you think. I'm gonna finish welding this, and in the meantime, Chris is actually building me a new radiator shroud.
We're trying to figure out how we're gonna route this. We drew out a whole bunch of different ideas. This is kind of where we landed. Now I'm just trying to figure out whether we are going to box the front end down this way and then that be it, or if I just want to bring this as a straight line up to here, and then we just leave the ducting and leave this whole part of the window open. That'll allow the most amount of air. Also playing with the idea of maybe opening it up a little bit more outwards towards the front to get more angle of the air when we're going sideways. But I have to see how much room we have because our 20 AN fittings are on that side as well. So it's gonna be a little tight.
I like the speaker deck idea.
Yeah, the speaker deck 100% staying. It's just a matter of whether we just box this in and then bring this up to the back glass, or if we run this up here and just run a thin strip of the glass on the top.
Good question.
Because that leaves that whole back window open. Because remember, we still have to put our fuel fill over here too. So if we have the window, we're either gonna have to build this up to accept our fuel filler and then cut the window for where our fuel filler is, or we can just put the fuel filler flat right here, which would be cool. So we got to kind of figure that part out. Because if the window overlaps here, then yeah, kind of stuck with what we got.
Now, question for you: could we make this all back glass, like poly or whatever?
This part here?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because it's technically it's blocking the radiator with this, so this is just a clear view. So it'd be like a back window. Maybe we call Kevin Wells.
Yeah, maybe we call the guy.
Because it's not in the rule book. We've looked.
Yeah,
they don't tell you.
Needs to be separated from you, but we don't know if Lexan and polycarbonate count as blocking it off from you, which it theoretically should, because it has the same properties of, you know, keeping bursting radiator hoses away from burning you.
Yeah, I mean, part of the window's still poly anyway, so
yeah,
still have a part.
So whether that's poly and this is poly, or just this is poly, I don't know.
It'd be cool to integrate and have the whole back window visible.
I just don't know what piece we would use for that.
Make a piece.
Yeah, but it's not gonna be the same as the plastics for performance piece.
Tell Duarte to order an extra back window that we're gonna cut up.
Well, we're gonna have this much of the back window, but the thing is this comes curved already. So it's not gonna be straight. That's our problem.
Yeah. Nice shot.
What was that for?
They make like these round paper airplane things, and they're really cool. And I was trying to do one, but I guess I'm not as skilled
The
as
glider
people.
airplanes?
No, they literally make it out of like a round tube, and they throw it, and the fucking thing just soars for like ever. But I don't know how the fuck they get it to stay together like that. The guy just literally folded it together, and it worked perfectly.
Let's show them your other origami.
Other origami. Arts and crafts at all-time high at the shop right now.
Yeah.
So
is our cardboard users.
Crickett got the back seat all sanded for the most part. A couple little spots still need some loving and working, but that's really nice. Now we have moved to making our enclosure for our rear mount radiator to keep the cooling hot stuff away from El Jefe. So we decided we hate flat plates and just simple things, as you can see by all of the crazy shapes that we got going on in here. But we got this structure built out now, which will eventually go up to our back window whenever we're at the glass here. We still got to put the roof on and a bunch of stuff, but we figured ideally it's gonna be easier for them to paint everything when we have the roof off of the car, at least when they're painting the interior of the car. So we are getting some, you need new plasma tips, right?
Need new plasma tips.
New plasma tips, because that thing is cutting super wonky right now, and we need nice straight lines for what we're doing here. But look at it, it's beautiful.
We're gonna be a lot more forward progress on this car this week, but it's been all hands on deck for Adam. So we've been helping build dash bars and finish up cars for that. So we haven't got to work on this as much as we'd like to, but once those cars are gone, then it's full steam ahead on this again. Very excited. And once I get some plasma tips, we'll make this into aluminum and make it very beautiful. That's what happens when you run out of car parts, you know, and you just don't have any parts to put on the car, you just keep putting more sauce in the car while you're waiting. So hopefully the car parts slowly trickle in. That way we can keep throwing more sauce on this thing. So like, subscribe, comment. Let us know how you think about our new build, and give us some answers. I think we asked a couple questions that we could use your influence on, right?
Right.
Right.
Answer the questions. We need answers.